What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Christian Perez back at you with another video. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a bald fade. The gentleman or the client didn't want any hair cut off the top, but it looks like it's about a 3.5. You know, the bald fade, right? As they say, the classic never dies. No matter what happens, burst fades, tapers, you know, undercuts, man buns, all this stuff, you know, will run its course. But the bald fade never goes away. Never goes away. There's a link in the description for the wireless seniors or the cordless seniors. We linked up with a company here in Florida that's gonna be getting them first. If you want to get them first, make sure you click that link. Order yours today. As usual, I appreciate your time. And if anybody tells you, you know, you shouldn't be a barber because it's not a career or nothing, or there's no light at the end of the tunnel, you tell them I said it doesn't matter what you think. Love what I do, man. I get to make people feel good. I feel good. It's amazing. I love this industry. As usual, I appreciate y'all's time. All right, guys. So like I said, we're gonna be doing a bald fade. The gentleman that I was cutting didn't want any hair off the top. So here's a little before action, and here's what the tools that I'm using. I'm using my Slimline Pros, my cordless seniors. If you want them, there's a link in the description where you can pre-order them and get them first, and my Oster Octanes with my 5.0 blade. So here I'm going to start off with the first guideline. He wanted the bald fade to be, you know, regular to high, so it's a little bit high, but not extremely high. I like to start my first guideline like this, just so it's a nice, straight, even line, where if you come up and under, you might raise it or you might not take it high enough, trying to, you know, make that perfect guideline. So my Slimline Pros aren't really zero gapped, and I'm just tapping really soft. You don't want to you know, put a tattoo line in that's hard to erase. Here I'm using the Oster Octanes with the 5.0 blade, and I'm just staying right underneath that initial guideline, and I'm starting to bald them out here. Making sure I pull the skin tight. Get around the ears, all those little particular areas. Details make the difference. Appreciate all the support on the channel lately. It's been amazing. If anybody's going to be at the CT Barber Expo, let me know. Myself and the other members of the Tomb Squad will be there with a booth. So here I'm using my Andis foil shaver, the lithium foil shaver. And with the shaver, guys, don't push, don't press. There's no need for it. You're going to create a line that's harder to take out, first and foremost. And secondly, you can create irritation, razor burn. You can do that with a foil shaver. So just literally, I'm going and I'm using the weight of the shaver itself. I'm not pressing or doing anything extra. And I'm cutting in the direction that the hair is growing, right? So you can see where I turn it sideways sometimes, or, you know, you just want to make sure you're always going against the grain. And I'm staying right underneath where I did the second, you know, the second guideline with the Oster Octanes. And sometimes you'll create a line with the shaver. I'm going to show you how to take that out in just a second. But yeah, CT Barber Expo. Rick Ross is gonna be there. I'm excited. If anybody's gonna be there, get active in the comments. Let me know if you're gonna be there. Anybody from the CT area.
Stutter beats.
See the line here that the shaver leaves? You just want to invert your trimmer. and you're staying right underneath the initial guideline, but you see that little bulk or weight, for lack of a better term, I give it close up here. Just invert your trimmer. You don't want to dig too much, just pull the skin tight just like this, and you knock that line right out. So here I'm using the Wall Cordless Senior. Again, they're not even out yet. Anybody who's followed my channel knows I am a 100% double magnet Andis purple guard guy. And ever since I picked up these walls, I have not used my Masters, my FX Pros, FX 673 Pros. I have not used anything Andis related since I picked these up. Best clipper out in my opinion. The hype is real. If you want to get your hands on them, I can't stress it enough. There will be a link in the description where you can pre-order them and get them first. Tune 45 is linked up with a company here in Florida that's getting them first. I believe they don't come out till February, March. You'll be able to get yours at the end of January first before anybody. So I created my second guideline there with the lever all the way open. And now I'm using my #1 premium wall guard. Lever open. Gonna make our next guideline here. Move it to the middle position and then all the way closed. Once it's closed, I go straight to the 2 guard. Like I said, this gentleman didn't want any hair off the top, so it's just kind of a judgment call, right? Hair cutting is trial and error. Bazio loves to say it. I love to say it's truth. It's trial and error. So I determined to start out with my #2 guard, lever open, work it to the middle position, then closed, and then now we're using the 1.5 guard. Blending right into that #1 guard. Again, start off with the lever open, move it to the middle position, and then closed. Being mindful not to raise the fade, right? And you can see I'm going in at an angle because you want to cut in the direction the hair is growing, right? In the opposite direction. You want to go against the grain. So after I use the half guard there, now I start with the lever all the way closed and I start knocking out the 0 line. And then as you knock it out, you go up about, I don't know, a 1/4 of an inch, then open it, then go up a little more, then open it a little more, and so on and so forth until the lever's all the way open. And then afterwards you go back and you detail it. Now I'm using the half guard again and I'm just detailing what I just did. Now I see there's still a little bit of weight left, so I go back, still using the half guard here, but you'll see I'll take the half guard off and I'll go back and I'll detail the haircut again. Here we go. Pulling the skin tight to make sure I get that flawless blend. Now we're repeating the same process here, right? Unless my guy here wants some kind of special different haircut, something avant-garde. Unless he's doing that, you want to follow the same steps. What you do to one side, you must do to the other, right? So we start off with the #1, move it to the middle position, then closed. Then we go to the #2 guard, open, middle, closed. Then the 1.5 guard, then the half, and then we go straight to no guard at all, closed, knock out that 0 line, and open it as we start going up. And again, you see that I raised it a little bit. That's okay. Trial and error, right? I get my half guard and I knock out that little bit of bulk. So here we're doing the same thing. The only difference is we're on the crown of the head. So you see how the hair grows forward instead of sideways or down. It's growing up and towards the front of his hair. So you want to be able to cut against it, right? So you see here I invert the clipper and we're following the same steps, right? But I'm just cutting down because it's cutting against the grain. Doesn't do you any good to not cut against the grain. Sometimes you got to do stuff like this, especially around these areas where, the crown of the head where you have cowlicks and stuff like that. So same steps we did on both sides, we're doing it here, just upside down. Lever all the way closed. You can see I go up, and every step that I go up, I open it up a notch. I also changed the blade on my seniors here. It comes with the surgical blade, the flat blade that the 5-star senior comes with. I don't like that blade. It tends to pull skin. So I use the original blade that comes on the gray senior, the beveled one, not the surgical one that's flat. I don't have to slow down. I don't have to be mindful of it. You just cut, you go. You don't have to think about it. So I found more success, at least for me, in my particular opinion. I like this blade better than the surgical blade. A lot of new barbers get nervous and they want to use a surgical blade because you think you need it to blend out the 0 line. You can see here I'm knocking that zero line out like in no time. You don't need it. Now I'm going back and detailing. No blade again. You can see there's still a little bit of a faint line there, not much. Going back and detailing it again. This is what makes the difference. If it takes you 30 minutes to do a haircut, it should take you about 20 minutes to do the haircut. You should spend 10 minutes to detail the cut. Don't just go on to your next client. Detail the cut. Make sure his edge is perfect. Make sure that blend is flawless. What are you gonna do with that extra 10 minutes? Sit down, sit around, you mean? Make sure you provide that customer with the best service possible, and that'll enable you to lock them in, you know what I mean? You want to lock them in. I tell a lot of our new guys here, they get overwhelmed when they see all the, 9, 10 people waiting in the waiting room, and it's like, man, I just want to grab the next one, quality over quantity, and your bookings, like your being booked, will come with time. You want to make sure you provide quality, because it gives you no advantage to do 15 haircuts today, and out of those 15 you rushed 12 of them. They're not coming back. They're gonna sit with somebody else. So you might as well do 10 instead of 15 and give it your all on those 10, and then you lock those 10 in, and then next week you do another 10, so on and so forth. You guys get the point. You want to make sure you lock them in. This guy sat in my chair for the very first time. I asked for his permission to be able to record the haircut. Locked them in ever since. People feel that. They feel when they're being rushed in the chair. That's one of the first things we ask customers when they sit with a new barber. Hey, how does his chair feel? Do you feel rushed? Is it a positive energy, negative energy? That's very important to us. Should be important to you too. So here I use some setting spray just to make sure all those baby hairs stay down. I sprayed it on. I use a blow dryer to make sure it dries up nice and gives me a nice clean canvas to work with. Here I'm doing some eyebrow work. You want to make sure you pull the skin tight as possible and just take your time with it. No need to rush. And here you can see I'm using the heel of the blade. You have the toe and the heel, right? The heel is the back part, the toe is the front part. So you want to use the toe and heel technique there and just take your time with it. On this eyebrow that I'm about to work on, he has a scar on the top and the bottom, so I definitely had to be particularly, there you see I can point it out, I had to be particularly careful and take my time and just patient with it. And you can see I'm just using just the corners of the razor blade. Usually areas with scars or scar tissues like that can be sensitive, and you don't want to bust it open again for no reason, other than you're trying to rush when you shouldn't be. So here I'm using 245 shave gel. You guys know all about that. I don't have to tell you. Best shave gel on the market. I'm biased. I know it. It is what it is. You can get yours at 245.com. You'll see the difference. I usually take this time too to shave right behind the ears, right there in that little area that's hard to get with the shaver, just to make sure I give them that clean cut. Those are the details I'm referring to. If you take your time and clean the haircut up, make the customer feel like you went all out, like this is the best haircut that you're trying to give ever. It makes a difference. So here I'm just going back over the front edge, making sure it's nice and crispy. Again, any tools that I used are in the description below. Make sure you click anything, click any links if you have any questions or you want to get any of the tools. There's also the link for the wireless seniors or the cordless seniors. And here's also the difference in details. Make sure you get his neck. Get his neck all the way down there to the collar of his shirt. I'm not saying you got to shave the dude's back, but make sure that makes a difference. Customers notice that. As usual, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend some time with me in these haircut tutorials. I always appreciate your time. Make sure if you vibe with anything you see in this video, or you vibe with the vision, you click that like button, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys next week.